Hello, we have a second line day, and today the second line is called Charm School. We're in gate 22, which is the gate of grace and openness. Second lines rarely, if ever, deliver any kind of mutation. The nature of Charm School is that there is the ability to empower attentiveness through style. These people have a very powerful social mechanic. They have the capacity to get other people to be very attentive. But at the moment that their turn comes, they often don't have much to say. They have a social style, but they do not necessarily have a mutation that they are able to contribute. This is projection. This isn't introspection. The lifetime learning says the belief that style can mask nature. All individuals have to learn this game. They just must. When you carry the energy of the freak, you learn how to mask it and you survive. And what this says about the 22 too is that they're in hiding so that they will be left alone as an individual and that they won't have to deal with the terms of everybody else and their comments. On the other side of this, the channel, we have the 12-2, where we have the line of rigorous withdrawal and purification, staying away from negative forces. This channel is the only opportunity the individual has to be mutative, and they have to be very careful. So they have to fool the collective and the tribe. The exaltation says the ability to successfully delude oneself and others, the possibility to attract others with an emotional style. This is the second line, and so it's quite natural for them. You know, everybody sees it, others looking through the window. Individuals, by their very nature, attract attention. And of course, often that attraction is not, or that tension is not actually welcome. You're the different one if you're the individual. So it can be negative or positive, but you're always attracting attention. So people can look in the window and say, hey, you look interesting, whatever the second line happens to be about. There is this sense of generating the attentiveness of others, and when their turn comes, they can be quite confused because there doesn't seem to be a great deal behind that mask. It's just a social skill after all. These people are very good when that social skill is about their work, for example. It's very handy to have it as far as the material plane is concerned. They're very good at socializing at the stranger level. You know, they're the harmony to the fifth line. After all, fifth lines always work better with strangers. So they're easily able to make contact. But the moment that it gets more serious, the moment that it would involve a mutation, you know, bringing something as a contribution, that's where their dilemma begins. Their value is that they can bring about the attentiveness that's so easily that they can create a social opportunity. But then they don't know what to do with it. In the detriment, the legalization of form over substance, where the style is energized at the expense of awareness. Awareness here, in this context, could also read clarity, you know, where the style is energized at the expense of clarity. So the charm school, the people with this detriment, they are the ones who know that it is all style and they can take advantage of that. The value of that is to be able to have a social situation in which you can offer something to get your individual process out. The style becomes everything. Oh, these are people who can really get your attention. They're walking on down the street and you see them and it's like, whoa, they've got something going on, which doesn't translate into you rushing up to talk to them or anything, because this is still individuality. You know, that's a whole other story. And it's one thing to develop a style as an individual because it can help mask your difference. But at the same time, what often happens is that it simply becomes a permanent mask. And the jumping out of the closet, if you like, it doesn't ever take place. You never jump out and scream, here I am, ready to mutate you. That bit doesn't happen. Maybe that's a good thing in some cases. So the grounding is coming through gate 47 in the second line, called ambition. It's just the abstract mind looking for some belief that it will make sense out of its existence in order to have its impact. And it is support maybe for the manifested gate 22, creating their individual style and the possibility of a social interaction in order to have an impact, in order to bring out the mutation. The moon moved into gate 39 at 9:27 this morning. 39 we know is in the root center. It's the gate of provocation, pressing buttons, trying to find the right spirit in the 55. This is individuality. Of course, it's in the same stream as our sun in 22. And so it carries the same themes of melancholy and emotionality, acoustic qualities. It's creativity and passionate. And then we have gate 53 at 1938. This is the root center gate again, abstract this time. It's the gate of beginnings, so it's a format channel for the abstract sensing circuit. The energy in the format here is that of cycles. It's the beginnings. This is the gate of beginning. It's the gate of development. Gate 42 at the other end of the channel is the gate of growth and bringing a cycle to a close. And always when it comes to entering into anything but new experiences, as this is what the context is of this gate, the important thing is always to enter in correctly as yourself. I have blackbirds going on outside. It's definitely spring. There's so much activity out there at the moment. Finally, the moon moves into gate 62 in the throat center at 5:54, where it meets Mercury in gate 17. And so we have the logic channel of acceptance, the design of an organizational being. This channel brings the ability to see the big picture without getting bogged down in the detail. Although it's important to know the relevant facts and details in order for any long-term visions to be successful. So this is the second line. Thank you very much for joining me back for a third line day tomorrow. I look forward to seeing you then. Until then, take care and go gently.